When you roll out of the bed in the morning, are you ready for the day? It's hard. It's not common, but it is possible. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can prepare for the day the night before so that when you roll out of bed, you're ready for the day. Even if you like a quiet, slow morning, you can still set yourself up for success and beat that morning fog by taking a few simple steps the night before so that when you wake up, you know right what to do. So we've already been over this a few times, There is no such thing as time management. There's only self-control. I know it's a bummer, but it's true. And even though there is no such thing as time management, there's no way to get more time. There's no way to slow time down or speed it up. Still, there are things that we can do that help us get going, get more out of the day than we otherwise would. But it's really about self-management, about being prepared, and doing what needs to be done. Today, I have 10 things that you can do the night before so that when you wake up, you're ready to roll out of bed knowing what to do next and being happy that you are ready for the day. You're prepared. Starting the day feeling prepared, seeing your preparations in place is a great way to begin a day and to get it going on the right foot. So you might not do all 10, although you might. They're all short and sweet. But if you even pick up just one or two from this list and put them into practice, you will see a difference in your mindset and your attitude when you wake up in the morning, and also in the time that it saves you the next day. They are totally worth it. Another thing that's totally worth it is to hit subscribe and leave a comment with your time management tip. I'd love to hear it. Now, let's dig in. All right, are you ready for this? 10 things you can do the night before so you're ready for the day. These are in no particular order, but each one is a small action that has a disproportionately large effect. That means these are totally worth it. Even if you only do one or two, or all 10, I'm sure that you can find a way to fit them in because they really don't take that much time, yet they save you a lot of time and mental energy the next day. So the first thing that you can do the night before to prepare yourself for the next day is to lay out your clothes. See, these are not earth-shattering things. You've probably heard them before, but you've heard them before because they work. So it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when your clothes are right there, ready to go, you can just get dressed mindlessly. You don't have to have woken up yet. You don't have to have had coffee. Your clothes are there. Plus, when you lay out your outfit the day before, you're just automatically thinking about what the next day holds, and so you can choose an appropriate outfit naturally without a lot of extra effort or work. But the amount of mental energy that it saves you the next day when you have to remember what's happening today and what you might want to wear is immense. It will take you less time to choose the right outfit the night before than it will to choose it in the morning. So, first thing, lay out your clothes the night before. The second thing that you can do to prepare yourself for the next day and get yourself on the right foot is to make your daily card. A daily card is what we call a to-do list, a prioritized to-do list that just has your top 3 priorities. If you take the time to write that out the day before in the evening, then when you wake up, when you're drinking your coffee in the morning, when you're gearing up, you don't have to make any decisions. The decisions have been thought through and made, and you can actually just start by taking action right away. And starting is the hardest part. So when we know what we're going to start with, we get rolling so much faster and easier and smoother. Try it. Make your to-do list a prioritized top 3 to-do list the night before. That's my second tip. My third tip is to clean the kitchen the night before. Now, most of you probably already do this naturally. You're like, well, of course you clean up the kitchen after dinner. But for some of us, we don't. For some of us, it seems like it's much better to let the dishes soak in the sink, to just leave the dinner mess that we don't want to deal with anymore because we already made dinner, and to just leave it for the next day. But you know what? The next day is also going to have a dinner mess and a breakfast mess and all the meals mess. So clean the kitchen after the meal, even though it feels like a drag at first. It will pay off. It will be worth it. It can be a habit that you build and get used to. And it is just a sigh of relief and satisfaction when you wake up in the morning, you head down to the kitchen, and the space is clear and clean and ready for the day. You can't beat that. It is so worth it. Try it. Clean the kitchen after dinner the night before so that when you wake up, it's clean and ready to go. That's tip 3. The fourth thing that you can do to get yourself off on the right foot in the morning is to actually set your alarm. Don't just think about it. Set your alarm not for your idealistic, perfect, if I was the best human being that I think I ought to be, I would get up at 5 a.m. alarm. Set your alarm for a reasonable, realistic time that works for your whole family. If you wake up earlier, you can get up earlier on your own, but your alarm should be a realistic time that you don't ignore, but get up out of bed when it goes off. The thing about alarms is you have to actually turn them on. So that's what we're doing for tip number 4, is actually turning on our realistic alarm the night before so that in the morning we don't wake up already behind. The fifth thing we can do the night before so that we are ready for a solid day the next morning is to clear and set up our work area. Now, your work area might be an actual desk where you do work. It might be your homeschooling area. It might be your kitchen. What is the project that needs your attention most the next day? Wherever you need to be to make that happen, set yourself up so that it's easy to get started, so that it's attractive, so that it's ready to open and go. It will take you less time in the evening, really, than it will to gear up and figure it out and clear the space in the morning. You want your morning to be your most effective time, and it's going to be most effective if things are ready to go. So we need to take the time the night before to make sure that they are. Okay, number 6, the thing you can do the night before is to make sure you have a menu plan for the next day. And the menu plan needs to be about more than dinner. It turns out as soon as you wake up in the morning, people are going to want to eat breakfast. What's for breakfast? If you go to bed knowing what's for breakfast, you can just serve it in the morning. You're ready, you're prepared, you don't have to come up with a plan first thing in the morning. You just have to work the plan. So have a menu plan for breakfast, lunch, and dinner before you go to bed. It will alleviate so much stress throughout the next day. It'll be totally worth it. And the 7th thing, 7 out of 10, the 7th thing that you can do to get yourself a head start for the day is to actually pull out anything from the freezer that you need for those meals. Now that you've thought about and maybe even written down what your menu plan is for the day, you can think, does anything need to come out of my freezer for this? Do I need to pull out a loaf of bread? Do I need to get the chicken out of the freezer? And just do it already. It's a head start for your day. All right, number 8 gets a little personal. The 8th thing that you can do to improve the next day is to end the day by kissing your husband. We need to remember that our life is not about checking off all the things and keeping track of what needs to be done. It's really about our relationships, serving and loving one another. And when we end the day with personal connection, it keeps our priorities oriented correctly. It keeps us connected. And that's important. That's something that we should prioritize and practice and make a habit. So, every evening, give your husband a kiss goodnight. Maybe more, maybe not. Okay, number 9, turn off your phone at the night. Your phone needs a bedtime, and your phone's bedtime should be before your bedtime. There's all kinds of sciencey things about the light, keeping us awake or disturbing our sleep. But even apart from the whole light and sleep thing, the reality is that our phone puts us in a mindset of distraction, of entertainment, of just scrolling and mindlessly consuming. And what so easily happens is that we stay up way later than we intended to, doing nothing valuable, receiving nothing valuable. So if we plug in our phone, leave it alone, and take time to talk to the actual people in our house, to read a book, to read our Bible, maybe to take an evening walk, to do something human, apart from screens, is a great way to start winding the day down and shifting our attentions to what really matters and to not be lured and drawn into the distraction mode. So that's 9th thing you can do to prepare yourself for a good night of sleep, which will set you up for a better day the next day, is to put away your phone before you go to bed. Okay, final thing, number 10. What you need to do to make sure that you can get a head start on your day right away when you wake up is to build an intentional habit of 3 things right away when you wake up. It really doesn't matter what those 3 things are, and maybe you might choose 5. But if you get into a regular rhythm, if I get up, I do this, I do this, I do this, then it makes it so much mentally and emotionally and physically easier to roll out of bed and get started, because when you roll out of bed, you know exactly what you're going to do. So starting that is easy, rather than rolling out of bed and having to decide what to do. It's easier to stay in bed then. We have to think about what we're going to do, and then we're just in bed for another half hour. So we need to build a morning ritual, a morning string of habits that gets us out of bed and doing a few good things right off the bat. Might be drinking a glass of water, using the bathroom, maybe doing a daily weigh-in, maybe getting dressed right away with those clothes that you laid out. Whatever it is, choose 3 consecutive, small, fast, easy, but good things to do right off the bat after rolling out of bed. Put them on a big, visible list, maybe in your master bedroom or bathroom, wherever you will see it, so that you can easily repeat it until they become habit. And it will help you get out of bed, get moving in the morning, and get more out of your day because you've set yourself up for success in your very first actions. Do you need help choosing which of these to start with, or maybe choosing 3 things to begin your day with, or 3 ways to end your day? Or maybe you need some extra support and help with having time to be unplugged from your phone. So I have a special announcement just for you. Restful Routines is a new course that I've just written and made available within Simply Convivial Continuing Education. Restful Routines will take you through 6 weeks of building and practicing small habits that help us get more out of our days, primarily by managing our minds around our time and our task, but also by helping us build those small but meaningful habits that make a big difference the rest of the day. You can be part of our first set of people to work through restful routines starting August 28th. A live accountability group will work through this class, getting a checklist every Friday by email, having a weekly workshop and Q&A session with me as we assess how we did, as we troubleshoot one another's problems, as we practice building habits that really work for us in our real lives. The lessons are available in written form or audio only, so that you can fit them in a way that works for you. Restful routines will help you build time management habits that will leave you peaceful and hopeful and helpful in your life, instead of tired and frazzled and frustrated. So make sure and enroll in Simply Convivial Continuing Education by August 28th if you want to join the live group working through it. You can go to simplyconvivial.com and click the green enroll button and get started with us today, because this new course is included along with everything else inside membership. Courses that cover the whole of our homemaking duties, a community talking about anything, weekly mentoring sessions where we talk about issues and topics that really matter in our lives. The bottom line is you get the help you need as a homemaker to dig in, grow in skill and love and diligence in your home. So that's simplyconvivial.com and click the green enroll button to join today. And then with us, you can repent, rejoice, repeat.